Now, there's something that I'd like to talk about, and it's a topic that we encounter every day, and it's called toothpaste. Okay. And so, while this is not food, this is something that goes in your mouth. Okay. Now, if it goes in your mouth, then you definitely have to understand that it's something that you ingest. So, if you'd like to know why toothpaste is so important and what's really in this toothpaste, okay, stay on and we'll talk about it. Okay, the very simple question to start with: why use toothpaste? Simple, oral hygiene. Okay, now it's a very big word. Oral hygiene can mean many things, but the first thing that comes to mind when we say oral hygiene, a person thinks about bad breath. Okay, now bad breath is not the only thing, and bad breath is not only from your oral hygiene. Okay, sometimes bad breath can actually ember from the insides of your stomach and it can come out. So don't associate bad breath only with oral hygiene. So why is this hygiene so important? Uh, Besides having cavities and shaking teeth and that stuff, the problem is that if your gums are weak, bacteria can leak into the blood. Okay. And once that bacteria leaks into the blood, what happens is it latches itself onto the calcium that's in your blood. Now, what happens? That calcium starts to get a little more sticky and a little more harder, and it sticks against, your veins and your arteries. So this is people are beginning to understand that calcium is a vital component in which really causes a lot of these problems that you might get associated with your blood circulatory system. So you need more vitamin K these days. And the couple of videos back, I talked about vitamin K and what are the components, what are the foods that you have a lot of vitamin K. And if you remember, there were things like kale, broccoli, and incidentally, brinjal, okay, or eggplant as they call it, has a lot of vitamin K as well. So try and get this in your diet at least once a day. Just keep looking out. You'll find foods that are persistent with a lot of vitamin K. And if you can't really don't have the patience for it, try to find a supplement that has vitamin K in it. It is becoming probably now a very essential nutrient to have in your food today because you're under attack from all directions. You're breathing, you're eating, and so on and so forth. Okay. So toothpaste does help prevent a lot of bacteria leaking into your bloodstream through your gums. So oral hygiene is important. Now, it also helps reduce buildup on. Sometimes you get a buildup on the teeth, so toothpaste really does help that. Bad breath and keeping your teeth strong. Your teeth strength also depends on the strength of your gums. Okay. Now, what about the toothpaste? Now, unfortunately, a lot of toothpaste that we find today are really loaded with chemicals. Okay. And while some toothpaste have very medicinal additives to it, some of them just have components that make it, preserve the item inside the tube or however you take it, and keeps the shelf life long, and also gives a kind of a pasty and a smoothing effect to it. And one of the biggest culprits in this whole thing is this sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay. Now, it is known that it is not really good for your skin, and a lot of soaps and a lot of shampoos, they have this particular component. Okay, it's a surfactant, and it's used in a lot of detergents and things like that. Now, this is going in your mouth. Okay, and when it goes in your mouth, sometimes what happens is you tend to swallow it. Okay, so what happens if you swallow it? Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, now won't go to your eyes, but if it splashes, then it can cause eye irritation. It can definitely cause you to throw up, get nausea. It's also known to cause, bad tummies. You feel you'll have a kind of a stomach pain, not really a bad tummy, but you might get a tummy pain if somehow you ingest too much of it. Now, if that gets into your tummy and goes down, it will also kill the good bacteria. Now, a couple of videos back, we've seen that the good bacteria is really important to have in your system. And if you're going to start killing it, a lot of the natural process of your body is going to be restricted. Now, the worst thing about sodium lauryl sulfate is that when they have done experiments in the lab, they found that the rats and the things that they use for experiment, they actually contract cancer. So that's another problem with it. Now, it is also not very biodegradable. Okay, now if you're talking about the environment and they're trying to make everything biodegradable, this is something that's going to come on the list. Okay, but it's in so many products, it's going to take a lot of hammering to actually, get this out of the toothpaste at least, and so it's also very bad for marine life because it eventually goes into the water, and the water eventually gets into your rivers and it goes into the ocean. So it can affect them too. Okay, so we're just something as simple as a toothpaste is and soaps are actually wreaking havoc more than your cars and your aeroplanes. They all seem to be worried about that, but these are the things that are actually causing more of the problems. So now somebody will say, okay, let's try one of these herbal or Ayurvedic toothpastes. Now I've looked at brands, and I won't mention the names, but something that I think will come to your mind very immediately is a particular brand. And I was shocked to see when I flipped the label, because I said, let me see what's actually in this toothpaste, because I say herbal. And lo and behold, I see, a couple of herbal elements, but the rest of it is like any other toothpaste. It's got sodium lauryl sulfate, it's got this, that, got some preservative, it's got some anti-caking agent, I don't know, you name it. So it's only kind of like seems to be an eye wash. Okay. So look at the label of your toothpaste before buying it. And if you see sodium lauryl sulfate on anything, including a shampoo or a soap or a toothpaste, you know what? It's best to avoid it. Okay. There are some probably toothpaste that are only chemically made, but some of them don't have this. They don't have the sodium lauryl sulfate in it. They have more medicinal items which are probably tested and nevertheless, it is chemical. It's not natural, but it's at least a lot more scientific, and they won't really give you that much of harm as some of these things. These are just substitutes to make manufacturing very, very easy. Okay. Now, another thing is that a lot of toothpaste have fluorides in them, and if ingested, and that's why you have to gargle and rinse your mouth very nicely after using toothpaste that have fluorides in it. Okay, because they can cause fluorosis, but they also help strengthen the teeth. But eventually, what happens is they can cause kind of a fluorosis of the bone if in excess. Okay, so in some countries they use chlorine to kind of control the bacteria in the water, but some use fluorine as well. So fluorine is known to not be really, really conducive for humans, and so it's best avoided. And chances are you will definitely swallow some toothpaste sometime or the other. So it's it's eventually it's going to get into your system. So it's really important that you actually look at what toothpaste you're buying. Go, and it's going to take a little trouble. Yeah, you don't have to go to the store. You can actually go online and you'll actually see the label. Go and have a look at that label and see what those components are. And just Google a couple of them and you'll just see, oh, okay, so this causes this. And then you know what? You'll stop brushing your teeth. But no, there are a lot of herbal and natural toothpaste that are available. Don't fall for the name. Trust me, don't fall for the name. Go and actually the ones that I've seen don't really put the word Ayurveda in their name at all. They actually just call them some funny name, and you'll just look at them and say, wow, this is like everything is herbal in this. Okay, so so look it up online and don't forget to read the label. And if you need some options, if you really want to know, is there a particular toothpaste I can use, just contact me. Just send me a message, make a comment, whatever, and I'll reach out to you. So I hope you found this topic useful, and I hope you will kind of relook what goes into your mouth every morning and every evening. If you're somebody who does it 3 times a day, then all the more reason you've got to get very safe with your toothpaste. So thanks.